Welcome to our paper 2, sample paper, section 1, and we want to start off with question 1. It's a question under rates of work. Question 1 says, Maximilian, read for us question 1.
Determine the number of days required for 40 men to offload 3 trucks of capacity 300 tons each if each man offloads 9 tons per day.
So in one day, in one day, one man can offload 3 trucks. So 40 men will do which job? So 40 men will do which job? So 40 men will do 40 trucks of capacity 300 tons. So 3 trucks of capacity, and the capacity of each truck is 300. So in total, the work that should be done is 3 trucks to offload 3 trucks, and which has a capacity of 300 tons. So the work that will be done here, it is 3 times 300, which gives us 900. So the 3 times 300, which is in the answer, it is coming from finding the total work that should be done. But now each man will offload 9 tons. That's one man is offloading 9 tons per day. So what about 40 men? So 40 men will do which work? 40 men will do 40 times 9. This is what we have. Let me get in somebody. So Abuya, you are welcome. The 40 times 9 that we have in the marking scheme, it is coming from finding the total work the 40 men can do. Now to find the number of days, because that's work done in one day, so it will be, it's an equation that we can formulate. In one day, they will do the work of 900 tons. What about how many days they will take to do 40 times 9? That is 600. So if we work out 300 times 9, the total work to be done, 40 times 9, work done in one day, so we get 2.5 days. So 2.5 days comes from the total work done. The question is not much, it's quite direct. That's why it has the 2 marks. So the total work to be done, then 40 men will do which work? 40 times 9 tons. So the number of days will be the total work to be done over the work that can be done in one day by 40 men. And that is the response to question 1. Are we in agreement? Maxie and Christine?
Yes.
Good. Let's go to question 2. Question 2, Christine, read for us question 2.
Solve for x correct three significant figures using completing the square method. 3x squared minus 3 is equal to 5x.
Right, thank you. So for x, we said the first step in completing the square method, we must arrange the equation to take the form ax squared plus bx, and then let me get yes, and then plus c is equals to 0. So it must be in that form. So we'll rearrange this equation that it takes that form, and now it is 3x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equals to 0. And once it is in this form, completing square method will start when we have the coefficient of x squared as 1. So divide by 3 all through. So dividing by 3, we get x squared minus 5 over 3x plus 25 over plus, okay, plus this one first, we complete the square by getting, after dividing, getting negative 5 over 3 times 2. That is b over 2 squared. We add b over 2 squared both sides. In the process of completing the square, we complete the square by adding b over 2, the coefficient of that is b over 2 both sides. So b over 2, it is 5 over 6, and the 5 over 6 squared is 25 over that 6. Is equals to 1, because we divided 3 by 3, we get 1, and we took the other side, it became a positive. So it will be, we add both sides, 25 over that 6, 25 over that 6. Then we take the square root of the first term and the square root of the third term here, which is 5x minus x minus, because we had negative 5 over 6, so the square root of 25 over that 6, it is what we squared, which was negative 5 over 6. So squared is equals to, if we add these two, we get 61 over 36, but you can keep on confirming. Then we take the square root both sides. We take the square root both sides. Take the square root both sides. After getting the square root both sides, on this side we remain with the x. X minus 5 over 6. It is equals to, the square root we get is plus or minus 7.8106 over 6, because the square root of that 6 is 6. Then we take this one to the other side. After taking 5 over 6 to the other side, because the denominator is the same, we are going to add 5 over 6. So the denominator is the same, we add the numerator. So we have x is equals to plus or minus 7.8106 plus 5 over 6. Then we evaluate. So x will take the values. We take 7.8106 106 as a positive. We add, we get 12.81. Then divided by 6, we get 2 points. Another instance, we take this one as a negative. We add, we get 5.8. Negative 5.8. If we get negative 7.8106 plus 5, then divided by 6, we get negative 0.468 as the answer. So get the process of completing the square as we have narrated all through. Is any question there? Any question? Abuya, any question? You okay?
Yes.
Good. Let's move to question 3. Question 3. Question on a question on matrices. Matrix 2, x plus 1, x and 1 has a negative determinant. It maps a quadrilateral whose area is 2 square centimeters onto its image 8 square centimeters. Find the possible values of x. There is something that we know, that area scale factor from matrices and transformation in form 4, area scale factor in enlargement, it is equal to determinant of the matrix of transformation. You must remember that fact, then from there you proceed. Area scale factor is equal to determinant of the matrix of transformation. So the matrix of transformation we have is 2x plus 1, x1, which transforms an object that has an area of 2 to image and that has an area of 8 square centimeters. So we find area scale factor. Area scale factor is equal to the area of the image over area of the object, which is 4. But we are told the determinant is negative. So get back and include a negative in your determinant. And then we know determinant is equal to the area scale factor. So that's where this 4 is coming from. 4 is the determinant of the matrix of transformation. Area scale factor, which is equal to the determinant. Determinant is equal to the product of the elements of the main diagonal minus product of the elements of the other diagonal. So 2 times 1 2 minus x times x plus 1 is equal to the area scale factor, which is the determinant. So we evaluate this one, we get the equation x squared plus x minus 6. That's when we open this bracket, we get x squared, 2 minus x squared, then minus x. So we bring this one to this side, 2 plus 6, 4, 6, and x squared minus x. Then we take everything to the other side. So we have the equation x squared plus x minus 6. Then we solve this equation quadratically using factorization method, where we have the sum as 1 and the product as negative 6. So two numbers you add, you get negative 6, you get 1, you multiply, you get 3 and negative 2, negative 6. So we factorize, and then x will take the value of negative 3, or x take the value of positive 2. And we have the values, the possible values of x. The possible values of x would be x is equals to negative 3, or x is equals to positive 3. So the main aspect here you should grasp, area scale factor is equal to the determinant of the matrix of transformation. Any question? Let's communicate.
No.
No? Alright, let's move to the next equation. Okay, next equation. Next equation. Abuya, read for us the next equation and beat out.
Evaluate by rationalizing the denominator, leaving your answer in third form.
Alright, rationalizing means we get the rational numbers of the denominator. Now this one is involving trigonometry. When we deal with the angles of 45, we need a right angled isosceles triangle, but it should be sides 1, 1. So this one will be 45 degrees and this one will be 45 degrees. So if we square 1 plus 1 using Pythagoras theorem, this one becomes root 2. So now this is 45 degrees. If this is 45 degrees, we can find now cosine. So the cosine will be equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. So adjacent over hypotenuse is 1 over root 2. That's where we are getting this 1 over root 2 from. Then 8 can be simplified. 8, it is the same as the square root of 4 times 2. So 4 times 2, we know the exact root of 4, which is 2. Then we don't know the root of 2, so we remain at 2 root 2. And that's where we are getting this from. So after getting this one, we have evaluated by simplifying the numerator, root 8 to 2 root 2, and then replacing cos 45 to 1 over root 2. Now we want to go to the process of rationalizing the denominator. To rationalize the denominator, we multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the conjugate of the denominator. To have the conjugate of the denominator is very simple. we change the sign between the two terms. So if this one was positive, now here it becomes negative. So multiplying the two, both numerator and denominator, we get, when we are multiplying the conjugate, we don't do much. Multiply the first term and the first term, you get 1. Multiply the second term and the second term, where you get a half. So 1 minus 1 over 2, you get 1 over 2. So this half is coming from there. Multiplying the numerator, 2 root 2 times 1 is 2 root 2. 2 root 2 times 1 over 2, 1 over root 2. Root 2 and root 2 will cancel, we remain with 2. Then now we have this expression 2 into brackets. We factor out 2, which is common. 2 into brackets root 2 minus 2. Then because we are dividing, we can reciprocate the numerator times the reciprocal of the denominator. So 2 root 2, then you multiply. It's like multiplying the numerator by 2 over 1. And 2 over 1 gives us 2 times 2, it's 4. And then we bring the bracket. So we have rationalized the denominator. And because now the denominator is 1. And 1 is a rational number. Have you seen the movement, Maximilian?
Yes.
Do you have any question on behalf of others?
No.
No? You are good?
Yes.
What's a question? No good. Let's move to question 5. Question 5, Maximilian, read for us.
The mass of a solid was measured to the nearest 5 grams to weigh 750 grams. Its volume to the nearest 0.2 centimeter cube is 12.6 centimeter cubic. Calculate the greatest possible density in grams per centimeter cube of this solid resulting from these measurements.
All right. This is a question on approximations and errors. In form 3. To the nearest. This is the level of accuracy. And to get the absolute error is always equals to the level of accuracy times a half. It is the average. It is a half of the level of accuracy. So absolute error will be 2.5. Because absolute error will be equal to the level of accuracy of the measurements divided by 2. So the volume of the is measured to nearest. This is the level of accuracy. So absolute error in this case will be equals to 0.2 divided by 2. Absolute error will be equals to 0.1. So in volume, absolute error is equals to 0.1. In mass, absolute error is equals to 2.5. So how do you find density? Density from form 1 is equals to mass over volume. But now when it comes to quotient, we are dividing two numbers, so we get a quotient. How do you find maximum quotient? Maximum quotient, which is maximum density, it is equals to the maximum mass over minimum volume. So when you divide a number by a minimum number, that is the divisor is smaller, we are to get the maximum. So maximum density is equals to maximum mass over minimum volume. So maximum mass will be 750 plus the absolute error, which is 2.5. Minimum volume will be equals to 12 which is our working, which is our actual measurement. So minimum of it, we subtract the absolute error. And this one gives us 752.25, 752.5 and 12.5, which gives us a density of 60.2. So take note, when to find maximum quotient, we need the maximum value as the dividend, and we need the minimum value as the divisor. All right, Christine, are we together?
Yes.
Good. We move to question 5. Question 6. Question 6. Christine, read for us.
Circle whose center is 1, negative 2 passes 2.3, negative 3, negative 5 on its circumference. Find the radius of the circle.
Find the radius of the circle. So this is the center, and it passes through a point. This is a point on the circumference. So if we have a circle, the center, and a point on the circumference, this one is our radius. So we are supposed to get we are supposed to get the radius first. Now radius would be the magnitude of the 2 points, between the 2 points. So magnitude would be, first of all, find the displacement, the vector. So magnitude will be the point on the circumference, which is negative 3, negative 5, minus the position vector of the center, 1, negative 2, and this one gives us negative 4, negative 3. Then from there we find radius by getting the magnitude, where magnitude is the square root of the x value and the square root of the square of the y value. So negative 4 squared 16 and negative 3 squared 9. So the magnitude is 5, and that's our radius. Then we want to find the equation of the circle. General form of the equation. Yes.
4 plus 3 is 7, not 5.
Okay, all right. Let's get back and see the genesis of this one. When we are finding magnitude, radius is the magnitude of the distance from the center to the point at the circumference, as we said, this one. So to find, we need the displacement vector. So the vector between the circumference and the center, we subtract, we find the change in x, change in y. So negative 3 minus negative 4, negative 5 minus 2, it becomes negative 3. So we want now magnitude. Magnitude is always equals to the x component squared plus the y component squared. So we are not adding the negative 4 and negative 3. We are adding the squares of negative 4 and the square of negative 3. So square of negative 4 is 16, and the square of negative 3 is 9. So 16 plus 9, 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. Now we are in agreement, eh?
Yes.
Good. Then we want this the equation of the circle. Equation of the circle, we go to the general form. For you to state the equation of a circle, 1, you need the center. 2, you need a point at the circumference of the circle, which is xy. That is where it is passing through. Then you say x minus, our center was 1, negative 2. So x minus x value of the center, so x minus 1 squared, plus y minus the y value of the center, y minus minus 2 plus 5 is equals to radius squared. So general form of equation of a circle, x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equals to radius squared. And where a and b is the center. So we have stated, and because it is just one mark, and we are not instructed the form in which we can leave our answer, so we stop at this level. This is the equation of the circle. The moment you have substituted the value of a and b, and you have substituted the value of the radius, automatically that one is the equation of the circle. So what it remains, it is in which form you want to express your equation to. And that's the equation of the circle. The form will be discussed later. You can expand, and then put like terms together. All right. Are we in agreement, Christine?
Yes.
Well, let's go to question 7. Question 7, Maximilian, read.
The position vectors of points A and B are 2i, negative 3j plus k, and negative 3i plus 2k respectively. Calculate the distance from A to B.
Distance from A to B. Still, this question is like a repetition of what was there in section question 6 part A. We are given the position vectors in terms of I, j, and k. When j is missing here, it means there is a plus 0 j. On that, there is no need of indicating 0. So there is a plus 0 j here. Respectively, calculate the magnitude, the distance AB. So we need vector AB. So vector AB is equals to the position vector of B minus position vector of A. That is the position vector of where you are going minus, because our direction of this vector is AB. So the vector position vector of B is negative 3, 0, 2. This 0 is coming in because we didn't have the j component in the vector B. So it means it was 0j. So minus 2, negative 3, 1, which is the position vector of A, is equals to negative 5, positive, negative, plus negative minus negative 3, positive 3, 2 minus 1, 1. This is the vector AB. So to get the magnitude, we square all the components and find the square root. So 25 because of negative 5 squared, 9 because of 3 squared, then 1 because of 1 squared. Then we find the square root, and the magnitude is 5.196 to 4 significant figures. And that's all. Actually, a repetition of what we did in question 6. Unless there is any question, let's move to question 8. Question 8. For 7 consecutive days, Akinyi collected the following number of eggs from her ants. Day 1, number of eggs. Calculate the exact mean number of eggs per day collected over this week. So it is the sum of eggs over the number of days. So we have Monday to Sunday. This one is 7 days. Let me get in somebody. If I knew, you are most welcome. We are at question 8, but you will follow later. We are finding the exact number of eggs. The exact mean. It is the sum of x over sum of. So sum of x becomes 51. 11 plus 80 plus 5 plus 6 plus 5 plus 7 plus 9. 51. Mean is equals to 51 over n. The sum of x over n. N is the entry, 7 days. Then we recollect 7 2 over 9 days. But don't go ahead and give your answer 7.2 what. This one is not required unless it is a terminating decimal. But 2 over 9, it may not really terminate. So let's leave our answers in fraction form, which are considered to be accurate. The standard deviation of this data correct to 3 decimal places. So it's good that you always underline correct to 3 decimal places so that you remember the accuracy of your answer. We want standard deviation, and for standard deviation to work, we need to find another row here for the x squared. So we square the deviations, not the deviations. We square the x. So this one gives us 121, gives us 64, 25, 36, 25, 49, 81. You add all of them, you will get 401. 401 is coming from the squares of x. Because already we have the mean, we go now to the equation. In our mathematical tables, we have the formula of getting variance. Variance is equals to the sum of x squared over n minus the sum of x then over n squared. So this is the formula for variance. So the sum of x squared, we get this, we square the x then we divide by n, then we subtract the square of x over the sum of x over 7, and evaluating this one, it gives us 2.050. So I would like you to master properly the methods which are used in finding variance, and the standard deviation is equal to the square root of variance. So we cannot reach at standard deviation minus going through variance. So standard deviation comes after you have worked out for the variance of the given data. Very good. Are we in agreement? Maxi, have you understood?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Let's go to question 9. Epiphany, read for us question 9.
Letters of the word Casablanca are written on identical cards and shuffled. 4 cards are then picked one after the other without replacement. Determine the probability that the 4 letters can be picked are C, A, N, A in that order.
In that order. In that order, it is a very significant statement. So we should pick C, followed by A, N, and A. Without replacement is another significant statement in probability. So how many letters are here? They are 10 in number. We have 10 letters. The probability of picking letter C. How many letter C's are there? The question, the possible outcome. For us, we only have 2 letter C's. So probability will be 2, the event favoring the outcome of picking a C over 10 times probability of picking an A. How many A's are there in the word? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4. Over the number of letters remaining, number of cards remaining, 9. Because already we have taken 1 card for C.